Welcome to the Collegiate Champions Series featuring Rocket League. I'm Max. With me is Thunder. The Collegiate Champions Series is Canada's first major collegiate esports program that combines massive scholarships, professional skills development, community events, case competitions, and internships wherever you are wanting to take your esports program. As we get underway right off the bat, Thunder, if you're looking for a community, wanting to test your skills in or out of the game, J-Chan immediately scoring for the University of Ottawa. Either way, the Collegiate Champions Series is your way to get that dub in life. And Thunder, we know we were talking off mic a lot about J-Chan. We've seen him in CRL seasons past. This University of Ottawa team is one we've had our eye on since before the tournament started. Give the viewership a little bit of a download on this U of O squad.
Well, I wanted to say, before we dive too far into that, if you talked about the Collegiate Champions Series, if you're looking for a broadcast that wastes no time in getting things popping off and underway, this is definitely the one. As we got into gameplay in a hurry there, and I mean, happy to do so. Like you were saying, Ottawa off to a quick goal, and it was from that player. J-Chan has some serious CRL experience under their belt, and you're going to see a few players that have that experience because, after all, this is a Collegiate Champions Series, so there's a good amount of overlap between Collegiate Rocket League as the official league that you know and have experienced it as. And Ottawa in particular are a team with some serious pedigree, but they've gone through roster changes. At one point, they even had Aleutian, the player who now runs for FaZe Clan and also for Team Canada for Intel World Open. So Ottawa have gone through a mix of different players, but J-Chan has been one that has been a staple of the roster and a serious performer for the team. And J-Chan, while it wasn't the prettiest goal, is going to find another one here and make it 2-0.
That's a classic pure power goal from J-Chan. You see Priestley and Saucy just not quite ready for the amount of power J-Chan could put on that shot with the slight turn that he had. Saucy in the Triton. Is that what I'm seeing? Is that the Triton? Is that what that car is? Yeah. I would bet that's the first and only time we will see the Triton today.
Yeah, I mean, I think your odds are pretty good on that bet. I'm not going to go against you on that one, that's for sure.
That is a troll car if I ever seen one. Claude looking for J-Chan on the aerial. Top righties. Ottawa, University of Ottawa up 3-0. We do have a little bit of the graphics are a little bit backwards, it looks like. Saints COD RL are the blue team. University of Ottawa, the orange team. And they did get that right. Branded hitting themselves with what a save there. And it's interesting, we always talk about this, Thunder, this difference in kind of rank level with a player like J-Chan who can get power on the ball from basically any angle. If you're not ready for that, if you've not seen that, if you don't have the hours in that, it's really hard to react to.
It is. It's the pace of play, too, because as you see another goal get poured on here by Ottawa, they're happy comfortably playing at a faster pace than it looks like this Saints team can handle right now. And so Ottawa's not going to have to work very hard unless Saints turn things around in a big way here. And I just don't know enough about this Saints team to know whether that's going to be possible or not. But I know enough about Ottawa as J-Chan attempts a musty flick off of the wall on target. Maybe another goal here. That shot doesn't come through from Faxi. But Ottawa already looks to be poised, and I think this is a short series too. We're sitting on, I believe, a best of 3.
Yes.
So this could be over in the blink of an eye.
J-Chan's got an open net. That's the Grand Champ's worst nightmare as he misses it. Brandon, quicker to the ball than the rest of his teammates. Saucy is in an awkward place here, and Claude punishes. We are seeing this is one of those things you see early in a tournament like this, and it reveals itself pretty quickly. Just a flat-out difference in game hours, I would bet. And if this is truly the Saints COD team, that would explain it.
It would. I guess Ottawa's going to have to hope that this isn't some sort of multi-game gauntlet. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if the Saints are betting on the fact that they switch to COD after this and they play an aggregate series, but it's just Rocket League for this one. And with that being the case, the Saints are under it here for sure. In a team that, man, this is one of the teams in this tournament you really didn't want to get the draw of facing in the first round because Ottawa looks to run deep on this one, that's for sure. And this is a little bit of possession here now for Saints in the Ottawa zone. For a moment there, they had a little bit of daylight in that offensive end, but it's already spun back the other way, and Ottawa putting on more pressure.
The best pressure we've seen out of Saints in this game so far has been Brandon on the dribble. Brandon's shown us some flicks, shown us some ball control, but Claude showing us even more as he dribbles two players. Nice save by Saucy to get back to it. Faxi out of boost as we keep the ball in, and Ottawa doing a great job as you see Claude do it right there, just stopping the ball at the midfield, as they call it. They call it back in the day the siege style of offense. They just are controlling play. J-Chan, that's a flick and a half right there. Can you finish it? No, sir. But they're not. There's no rush here, Thunderbolts. They're up by 5. They're just keeping control. It's just all about pressure, boost denial, controlling those midfield plays,
and getting another goal while they're at it. Yeah, they're very content here, Ottawa, with not feeling obligated to make anything except the exact play they want to do and take the amount of time they want to do it. That is 6-0. That is game 1 with a minute left to play, and with the way the game is going, that is game 1 in the books, barring some sort of complete technical meltdown, I think, in the hands of the Ottawa team here. I mean, this could be a very short series.
At 6-0, you could probably have 2 of 3 players DC at this point, and it would be fine. As J-Chan makes it 7-0 with a lovely double tap. That was a tight angle. They're going for clips. We've reached that part of the game. Look at this. Beautiful.
That is very pretty from J-Chan, and it's not the most contested double tap J-Chan will ever hit. We'll say that. It wasn't a huge amount of defensive pressure coming back the other way, but it still takes a solid degree of skill, and that one just going to walk its way in for 8-0 here. And Saints COD RL. This is a bucket of ice water to begin the tournament for them, I think.
That was a classic, one of those classic plays where the fact that you can't half flip really reveals itself. In the case of Priestley, sorry. J-Chan looking for goal number 9. They've got the time, but Brandon has got a touch. Still letting that ball come out a little bit further in front of the net than you'd probably like. And you can see Brandon feeling the pressure to get up quicker because his teammates just aren't getting to those balls. Saucy's bumped in net. Priestley gets the demo. That does alleviate some pressure. That is also a way that you can sort of mitigate some skill differences. If you can get some successful demos, it can really throw off, especially a high-level team's rotation. But at this point, it's elementary with 9 seconds left. 8-0 is the score in this one. And that will be the final score, barring a 9th goal here from Ottawa. And it looks like they've just slowed it down. No, almost. Game 1 in the books, Thunder. There's a lot to work on there for Saints COD RL, but hit us with a number 1 bullet point. What needs to change if nothing else changes?
Don't respect Ottawa as much as they started doing in the game, because this is not. They are an overwhelming underdog, to mix metaphors or words, I guess. They're really outmatched here, and I don't think it's going to serve them well at all to play a super conservative style and just sit on defense and try not to get scored on. The only way they're going to catch Ottawa off guard here is by just showing a little disrespect and diving in on some plays that they don't necessarily think they can hit. And even the attempt might just throw off the rhythm that Ottawa had in that last game a little bit. I don't want to paint a picture here that it's like, hey, a couple small changes and Saints, they're walking away with this one. But there are changes that they can make that could definitely make this a closer game in game 2. It's just the mechanical mismatch is always going to be their biggest issue here, I think.
But no matter the mechanics, you still need time and space to get anything done. As you said, you got to close that distance. It's one of the things that I always tell my lower ranked friends when we're playing together. Like, just don't respect this guy so much. Yeah, he just hit a double tap, he just hit an air dribble, whatever it might be. But if you were just bum rushing him, that first touch would be a lot worse a lot of the time. As we get ready for game 2 here, a must-win game for Saints COD RL. Brandon, Priestley, and Saucy up against it here after that first game. 8-0 the final score. A lot of stuff has to change, though, as you said. As kickoff is between Brandon and Claude. Claude wins it, and this is a scoring opportunity for J-Chen, who's got the reset but can't get back to the ball. That's kind of a... Oh, no. Oh, boy. What's happening? They get it out. They get it clear, Thunder. They got it out.
They did. And I was going to say, actually, you talk about a lot of changes needing to be made here for the Saints team, but I think in the spirit of this Collegiate Champions Series, it's all about consistent participation and development of the program. So we're asking for changes from Saints. Another goal has poured in here from Ottawa off of a flip reset pass, but I don't think we need to see those changes all in one match. It's just about developing the program that you have from the point that you're at. And Saints, they've got a lot of work to do, but hey, if they're listening, you don't have to do it right now, immediately. Obviously, you're facing one of the strongest teams in this entire competition here, but keep digging away at the program that you have, and there is a reward here too for teams that are consistent competitors, not the best ones, but the ones who show up most consistently. There's a $10,000, I think like a tech, not a renovation, but a revamp essentially, bursary going out to the school that participates most throughout the series, because we've got 3 events in this series over the span of 3 different months. So it's not always the team that is just winning all the games that can benefit the most from it. And I hope that teams like Saints here and others aren't discouraged just by losing one match by a lot like they are to a stiff opponent like Ottawa.
You can see this is a phenomenon of tournaments like this, and I've been on both sides of it, both as the higher ranked team and the lower ranked team. You can see University of Ottawa's changed their play style. They're essentially freestyling in this game, and I would imagine we're going to get a closer final score as a result of this, because they won 8-0 there. They're not taking direct shots. They're not just like hitting bangers under the crossbar. They're doing stuff like this, looking for air dribbles, looking for fun clips they can show their friends, and just kind of treating this as a warm-up series. The tough thing for the University of Ottawa is this is probably going to be the lowest ranked competition they're seeing today. So I always hesitate to start messing around like this in these early rounds, because the next round is going to be harder, and it's tough to turn that switch on and off. As tempting as it is to just go for clips when you've got this kind of aerial dominance. As we've already seen fewer goals in these first 2 minutes than we did in, I think, the first 45 seconds last game.
Oh, far fewer. But I think the toughest thing about that preliminary phase in the tournament, when you're talking about these big skill mismatches for Ottawa, is that there is, even in this game, if they were to, I guess, play a more regimented style or whatever you were going to call it, it's the pace of the game that they can't manufacture, I guess, artificially in this environment against the Saints team. So nothing can substitute, or nothing can really step in and play the role of a game that moves as fast as it needs to for them to truly get warmed up. They're going to need a stronger opponent to really start to feel the pace of play that they're used to playing at.
And that's really the first direct shot we've seen all game, as Faxi pots it to make it 3-0 halfway through, though we're catching up to that 8-0 pace now. Everything else we've seen until that shot has been, just pure setup touch, trying to make the most happen for themselves individually. Faxi just putting that away. Didn't really have much of an angle to do anything else. Looking for a flip reset again. J-Chan pops it up. This is the direct shot opportunity, and they do go for it. Claude makes it 4-0. Maybe they heard us say they're off their 8-0 pace again. What I've always thought was the best way to go about this in these matchups is to just play as if that other team are grand champs. Even if they're not providing you with that pace, you can provide yourself with that pace. You're just beating them by 10 seconds instead of 3, right? Probably not 10 seconds. That's a lot, but
some of these players,
yeah,
there is, and we haven't seen it either. We've seen a lot of goals. That's now 13 over the span of just 2 games. But we haven't even seen these Ottawa roster players be pressured into playing as fast as they can. And sometimes that's up to what the ball is doing too. Because if the ball is not moving at the pace of the gameplay that they're used to, I guess they could run and dive at the ball and try to make a quick play on it, even if it's moving slowly. But to a certain degree, it's kind of hard to fake that a little bit.
You can't manufacture that, as you said.
Not necessarily. There's only so much you can do with that here. And Saints, meanwhile, on the other side of the ball, not doing a bad job actually of containing Ottawa out of doing literally whatever they want. There's a double tap attempt from J-Chan that almost spits through, but Saints are kicking this ball to the side of the field, making Ottawa rush a little bit to keep a handle on the ball and keep possession of the ball. And what a shot there from Faxi, who was actually under some pressure from the defender, also diving across and still got the angle.
Did he pre-flip that? He did indeed.
Yep.
Oh, no, he didn't. He like half air rolled, then flipped back the other way. That was an interesting touch. I don't think I've ever seen that as Faxi makes it 6-0. You mentioned this, like, you know, making them make the play forcing them to make maybe the touch they don't necessarily want to make. That's always the fakes, no doubt. Priestley almost had a goal. That's always the calculus when you're going into a challenge, right? Like, am I going to win this outright, aka can I do whatever I want? Or B, do I need to make a wider touch around this defender that maybe isn't the touch that I initially wanted? We're not seeing that decision-making happen for Ottawa at this point. They're still being able to mostly go up uncontested. That's 3 straight uncontested touches down the field.
What a save.
Great save.
Great.
But ideally, that ball doesn't make it to that point because you're challenging one of those touches, and there's an angle from Claude Thunder. What a shot. I don't care who your competition is. This is a tough shot to hit.
Oh, the read so early on that. And that's on a spot on the corner wall that no Rocket League player is looking forward to having to read.
No.
In that really kind of nebulous corner zone where it could bounce anywhere. I would say anywhere in the span of like a 30-degree angle it could come off the wall, or a 30-degree range rather. And you just kind of have to know, or you have to be so good at setting up your aerials that you can adjust late. So you go for the early read, and then you make the late adjustment to fix whatever you need to fix. And speaking of early reads,
look at this.
Another one from Jay Chan. Just the lightest touch, so deftly tapped into the net there. And we're back up to 8-0 again here for Ottawa. It didn't look that way in the first half of the game, but they turned it on. And yeah, you're right. Maybe they were listening to us on the cast.
One of those few angles where you want to get that bottom of the hitbox, the wheel side touch, just so you don't get any extra forward momentum on it. Just drop it straight down. Jay Chan showing us why he's one of the players we've had our eyes on before this tournament started. Maybe the most accomplished player in this tournament total at this point. And you can't understate just what the benefit of playing with players like Aleutian and Kai99 Jr. brings to you as in terms of improvement, as they finish this with an 8-0 win, back-to-back 8-0s en route to the 2-0 sweep, and the University of Ottawa will be moving on